all the pressure's on her shoulders. She's sitting right there at 392. But it's not that she's not putting the ball in play either. She's attacking early. She's doing exactly what coach wants out of her. Just not able to get that ball to drop.
So Texas at 28-6, 2-0 in Big 12 play. Iowa State 17-12, 0-2 in conference play. Final game of the series. 71 degrees, slight breeze. Out to left field is Bollinger in with a strike to start the ball game off.
Something tells me already this is the same game plan as yesterday, and Iowa State did a much better job in game 2 getting the ball in play. They were able to put a run across against Shaylin O'Leary, who was leading the nation in ERA coming in yesterday at a .38. But their game plan was surely swinging at the first pitch.
Just the one earned run yesterday for O'Leary, so probably a good chance that she stays high up. There's O'Leary, got to speak with her after the ball game. Notched her 10th win of the season, a perfect 10-0 to start her career. Texas been so good pitching-wise. The ERA as a staff, 1.47, 6 in the NCAA coming in to this series. They had 3 straight shutouts, started the series off with 1, then the 1 run scored yesterday. So Texas has been on fire in the circle all season, and really as of late, too. That one is in for ball 2. Kim Bruins, along with Blair Luna, the other 2 Texas pitchers to start their career. 10-0 is Bollinger, paints the outside corner.
And that's the backdoor curve. Expect to see that a lot to the righties. She does such a nice job, able to throw it on both sides of the plate, but here she keeps it down at the knees. You read it away as a righty. However, she has that nice late break that comes right back over the plate.
Nearad out to right field. Grab made by Becca Alcozer. Joining her, center field Reagan Hathaway and Caitlin Washington getting the start in left. Left to right, the infield for Texas. Same that we've seen all weekend. Rhodes, Parker, Jefferson, Burke, and Iacopo behind the dish. 2 quick outs.
All 3 Cyclone batters swinging at the first pitch. This is what we watched them do yesterday. Coach Pinkerton talked about it a lot. He wants them attack that first pitch that they see, the first good pitch. However, after that, he then also wants to make sure that they're swinging at balls in the zone. Texas, when they work ahead, likes to go up in the zone, throw the ball out, and try to get their batters to chase.
1 through 3 batters, 0 for 14 in this series.
I think that's exactly why we saw Taylor Nearad move up to the 2-hole. After yesterday, she had 2 hits. She was down in the lineup, but she had a double and a single. Kind of changed that up.
Bosworth that were really good for the Cyclones yesterday, scoring that first run of the series. Bosworth awaits, potentially on deck, but can Bollinger, Texas defense, making a 1-2-3 inning. First start for Bollinger, the senior who started her career at Nevada. Since March 16th, she went 5 innings against BYU, got the win, 93 pitches, 10 strikeouts, just 1 walk, no earned runs. 3-1. That clips Wolpert.
It's a scary one right there. That's that. I have to imagine the curveball they're trying to tuck inside to the righty because she was behind 3-1. I don't imagine a rise ball's going in there. There's nowhere for you to turn. She's lucky that stayed a little bit lower. She's not wearing a mask. I mean, that was
It's good protect.
Yikes.
So Woolpert on with 2 outs for Kaylee Bosworth, senior from Manville, Texas. One ball. Two for 5. 1 double across the 2 games.
Quick timeout by Coach White. I have to think after hitting Woolpert, and really that first pitch to her was a little up and away, so maybe just making sure, checking in, is it a certain pitch that you're not getting a good grip on right now, especially middle of an at-bat.
Looked good from the get-go, that pitch to strike out Williams. And the fly ball to get Nearad. Just trying to get on the same page maybe early on. Mike White in his first season on the 40 acres as his squad ranked 11th in the country. I think really opened a lot of eyes, but maybe expected by a lot of people with whom Coach had followed him from Oregon and what they've gotten from Miranda Elish in the circle, along with all the other contributors. And Texas off to a very good start. 5th in the first RPI rankings. They played the 8th toughest schedule in the country thus far. Three 3-1 pitch. Ball 4. Brings up the true freshman, Casey Simpson from Keller, Texas. Highest ranked recruit to ever sign with Iowa State. 33rd in the country, part of a freshman class ranked 34th in the country per Flow Sports. 2-time state champ at Keller High School. Texas Sports Writer 6A Player of the Year. Playing back in her home state. Going back our way, but not quite in the range of Megan Willis. As a player, maybe. He would have made out and got that.
No, I'd be tumbling down the stairs.
Simpson 0 for 4. One-two coming. Swing and a miss, so Bollinger, a little bit of traffic, control-wise, gets it back, strikes out 2 batters in the first inning. Simpson to end the inning. Texas taking their first cuts of the ball game when we come back. Get your groove on here on the Sunday afternoon. Texas taking their first cuts. You talked about it, Megan. Really what was so impressive from Texas yesterday, we've seen the top of the lineup be good all year, but if Texas gets that production from 7, 8, 9, Parker, Washington, Alcozer, this lineup, you look at the averages, Alcozer down there 309, Rhodes has been hovering and above 300 all year. This lineup is very hard. Who do you pitch around?
Yeah, no kidding. And especially on a day like yesterday when Hathaway and Jefferson are 0 for 6, that does not happen. And so it's great to know, hey, if we have an off day, we've got the rest of the lineup that's going to pick us up. That's got to feel pretty good.
Redshirt junior Reagan Hathaway shoots one out to right field. That will drop in. Hathaway digging for 2. There's your Big 12 leader in doubles, adding another one to the tally. 13th of the year, 63 now for the Texas Longhorns this season.
Hathaway likes swinging early in the count. She's getting a ball inside. I feel like yesterday, that's where they've been able to get the outs. If she was hitting shots, they were just shots right at the first baseman. This time able to elevate the ball a little bit more. Sanders leaves it up. She gets herself a double.
The Texas leadoff has reached 8 of 12 innings. 3 have scored. You see second in the NCAA, well on pace to break the school record. Jefferson lays down the bunt, hauling down to first, and is in safely.
Well, I think both Hathaway and Jefferson were not okay with going 0 for 6 yesterday. And this is a defense. Logan Shaven and Wolpert play very close in. This just shows off Jefferson's speed. There's really nothing else Shaven could have done with that play. She got rid of it fast. It was just a perfectly placed bunt.
So Texas has gotten out of the chute quickly. Haven't even had a chance to formally introduce Savannah Sanders, who is in the circle, the senior from Mount Juliet, Tennessee. Sanders on the year, 3.83 ERA, 1 win, 4 losses. This, her 10th game started, has gone 3 the distance, 42 innings pitched evenly. Opponents hitting .234 off of Sanders. Much akin to the other pitchers we've seen from the Cyclones. Very similar in how she wants to get it done.
Absolutely. She's not going to overpower the batter. She's going to just hover right at the high 50s, maybe 60. She keeps it down in the zone, though. Much like the rest of the pitchers, they all have a drop ball. She's going to be able to move that curve and screw east to west. Great change. Coach said she's a finesse pitcher, so that means usually they've got a lot of good speed, tight spin.
Junior Miranda Elish from Crown Point, Indiana. Former #1 recruit coming out of high school. Second team All-American player last year. Jefferson going for second. Will get in. Held momentarily. The throw from Simpson to home gets Hathaway as Bosworth applies the tag.
Perfectly executed first and third there by the Cyclones. Bosworth behind the dish has truly been, I feel like, a spark for this defense, the way she's blocked, but she gets rid of it. She gets it right into her second baseman's glove. She's high, so really maybe Hathaway a split second too late deciding whether to go or not, because, I mean, the fact that she had to jump up, Simpson there makes an absolute perfect throw to home. I think Coach White was arguing possibly that Bosworth was an obstruction, but I'm going to say she was fine. It's a huge break for the Cyclones.
Especially considering that as Elish ropes it out to center field. Would have brought the run home had Hathaway still been on third, but Jefferson will have to remain on second, and now 2 down.
Well, we said it in the open. Iowa State's defense needed to clean up. This right here, again, a great job by Nerad in center field. This ball is crushed. But it's all about the center fielder getting a good read to get her out. Knowing exactly where she's at, there's no, really It looks like there's a warning track, but it's all turf out there. So that's all about listening to your counterparts out there, letting you know you have room so you're not slowing up at all.
So Texas got the 2 on. But now Sanders a chance to get out of it unscathed if she can get out. Mary Iacopo, the sophomore from Carson, California. On the ground to Logan Shaben. That will be the 3rd out. So a double from Hathaway to
what he wanted in that situation, I have to think, though, because she did go. And really that throw, if she goes right when she releases, she should be safe. But Iowa State executed it perfectly. Just unfortunate because you just shifted that momentum when you had 0 outs, runners on 1st and 3rd.
Well, for the Cyclones, mentioned this weekend, 6 wins away from last year's win total of 23 is Sydney Stites, the senior from Bozeman, Montana, with a 209 average. We'll start off this inning. It's one area of improvement where they have been much better this year. Their fielding percentage is 18th in the country coming in. There's a difference in the first game, the trio of errors that we had seen from the Cyclones, but they've been a much better defensive team, came into this weekend leading the Big 12 in double plays. They have a veteran-laden squad, 8 seniors, 3 juniors. For head coach Jamie Pinkerton, 2nd season. He's the 9th head coach in program history, was previously an assistant for the Cyclones from 2009 to 2013. And he talked to us about his reputation that he's gained and the stops that he's made. Tulsa as a head coach from 01 to 04, Arkansas from 05 to 09, 2 NCAAs there, launching the program at Montana, reaching the NCAA tournament in 2017. Is really a program builder, but gives a ton of credit to both the players, who for some of them, especially these seniors, 3 coaches in 4 years. It could be nearly impossible sometimes in how they've approached it, and also the staffs that he's had, saying, hey, people may look and give me credit, but it's not me at all. It's people around me. This one bounces off the Longhorn logo into the glove of Hathaway, but on to start the inning is Stites.
Yeah, this is just a ball that she's able to get just enough of. You see her right off the end of her bat, right into the Longhorn. I'm sure Hathaway was thinking about wanting to dive. That's always a tough one, because there's no one behind you. That ball gets by you. That's a triple.
Logan Shaben, junior from Portsmouth, Iowa. 204 on the year, 3 bombs, 8 runs batted in. No stolen base attempts from the Cyclones this series. They've entered 16 of 17 in the previous 10 games, so whether it be the scout or just in fact, Cyclones, the 4 hits, well, 5 in yesterday's ball game and none in the first. So see with traffic, they tried to move Stites. Shaben with the count 1-2. Gets the outside portion of the plate again. Seen her work that as the strikeout pitch, really the same pitch to Williams' 3rd strikeout of the contest.
Yep. You know what you're seeing out there, Tyler. That's her backdoor curve into those righties. When she can get it low, I feel like that's the one it's tough for them to decipher on, right? When she misses away. I believe that's her screwball. When she's able to tuck it back over the plate, it's hard to pick up. And as a righty, looking at a lefty, I do feel like Bollinger does a nice job being deceptive. I feel like her hip gets through before her hand, so it's harder to see. It feels like the ball gets on you a lot faster than what we're seeing. She's only thrown around 62, 63.
Cottle back up the middle. Jefferson will try to turn two. They do not get Cottle, but Stites down at second base. Good play by Bollinger. Flip around and shoot it to second.
Yeah, this ball was kind of swirly. It goes off the end of the bat again. Bollinger does a nice job staying down. Opens up, makes a nice throw to Jefferson.
Hannah Carter makes it strike one. I can just see these pitches from listening to you all these years we've been up here. Education to the game. Junior hitting 190 on the year. Bollinger, after that brief lapse there where she hits Wolpert and then walks Bosworth, and sharp. 8 of 9 first pitch strikes.
Saw her have a nice conversation with her catcher, Iacopo, after that first inning, too. So probably just, again, getting on the same page, maybe something Iacopo sees. That's something I was asking Coach White in the middle of the week. You know, when you're going through a lot of this, is more so aimed at Miranda Elish. But is there something that Iacopo can be doing as a catcher back there? Is it the conversations? Is it relaying back to Coach what she sees on certain pitches that's, you know, maybe staying flat or not moving quite as much? And he said, yeah, that, you know, that they've definitely been working on that and trying to pull more information out of her.
This ball hit to right field. Alcozer going back to the track. Finds the ball and makes the catch for out number.
And Coach and the team anticipate her return just to have that bat back in the lineup. I'm sure Iacopo would like a little break behind the dish as well.
One up, one down. With what that can also do to the Texas hitting lineup, especially the options that you have, where we've seen from this portion of the order down. Iacopo on the right in the headband, and Ellsworth left of the screen. Junior Shannon Rhodes from Fort Worth, Texas, making her way to Austin by way of the University of Oregon. NFCA All-Pacific Region second teamer last year. Rockets one up the third base line. Rhodes on with a single.
You know what I was thinking about, just with that Ellsworth coming on in and what they're going to have to do with their lineup, how they're going to move that DP around, because Miranda Elish, if she's not pitching, they're going to need her in the lineup. So it's going to be an interesting, are they going to try putting Elish in the field somewhere? Who's going to be the, yeah, Are they going to, she went out to right field, that's right. Or what are you going to do with Iacopo or Ellsworth? It's a good problem to have.
Absolutely. From our conversations with Coach White, something that they will welcome.
Yeah, so when she's pitching, no problem. Then the Iacopo or Ellsworth can interchange DP and catching. It's when she's not pitching what they're going to do.
Mackenzie Parker, batter at the plate. Freshman holding down the shortstop position after being given the chance. This her 13th game started. Conroe, Texas.
I like the way Sanders is throwing her curveball. She's done that on both sides of the plate, just like Bollinger. She's just doing it from the right-hand side. You're seeing the lefties have a little bit of an issue picking it up, probably just because it's first time through, right? But she's doing a great job keeping it down, covering it right at the knees.
It's a Texas lineup that has 6 left-handed batters. And inside on Parker. Puts Some juice into it, out to center where Nearad there to make the grab for the second out. Caitlin Washington will take her first cuts of the ball game, coming off a very impressive day for the junior from Humboldt, Texas. Hit her second home run of the day. Go along with a double as well, 329 average for the All Big 12 second teamer. Charge into this one, out to right center, and another home run for the weekend. Third of the season. Washington absolutely dialed in.
I mean, this is the second home run in 2 days, both of them coming off the first pitch too. So you talk about being ready from pitch one. She's been watching exactly how Sanders has been throwing. This is that pitch. It's supposed to be down by the knee. Sanders leaves it up in the zone. Caitlin Washington absolutely putting a charge behind that one.
And Megan, I think you and I both looked at each other yesterday, absolutely understood what Coach White was doing. Third time through, getting a chance for Schottel to come to the plate, but we just wanted to see Washington hit.
Encore,
really got to see her twice yesterday, and they were two great hits, the home run and the double, and this now a 2 RBI home run. 25th home run of the year for Texas. It ties their mark they set last season. Longhorns 20-0 when scoring first. Becca Alcozer taking the ball after the first pitch fouled off. Talked about it yesterday. That was a huge point of emphasis. And Coach White and staff got here when they looked at the numbers. They said the power numbers have to get better. And to say they've already equaled their home run total from last year.
I think they're doing that.
Mission accomplished. On pace to break the program record in doubles. Showed you the Alcozer home run yesterday in the highlights, the top of the show. Alcozer back up the middle for a 2-out single. This is what you're talking about for Texas. Last year to this year, through 34 games, look at the increase in average. Look at the runs per game, nearly doubled. The doubles nearly doubled. And the runs batted in, the Texas offense, night and day from last year to this.
And I mean, I just can't say it enough. I mean, you think about this offense too. We're talking about different coaches. These seniors for Texas has had 3 different hitting coaches as well during their time. It goes back to Corey Hill when they were freshmen. You had Trip McKay for the next 2 years. Now you have Carrie Shaw, but it's not just Carrie Shaw. This is an entire staff that has input on hitting. It starts with Coach White, Coach Spencer, and then Kylie Quico as well. And I think she's ever bit in these batters' ears talking about it. She pretty much has her name etched in Oregon's record book as a hitter. Both her and Chelsea Spencer played in the MPF, both very decorated players. So you have a lot of different conversations going on, and I think a lot of that has to do with this offensive production. And plus, they keep it pretty simple, right? Pick good pitches, stay on plane.
What's the third one?
I know, of course, it's time for me to spit all 3 of them out, and I have to think about it.
I have it in my notes. I'll pull it up. 1-2, 2 outs for Hathaway, who
be on time. Duh.
Be on time. Very simple.
It's so simple, I forgot.
So simple that even maybe a Willis could do it.
Ah, go on.
Ripped right at Casey Simpson. But Texas, the power numbers have gone up this year. Caitlin Washington, it's her 3rd bomb of the season. I-35. These two teams are wrapping up their conference opening series. Texas taking the first 2 ball games, 11-0 and 6-1. Longhorns picked to finish 2nd in the Big 12. They finished 4th the last 2 years. Last won the conference in 2010, but it will be a tough road. Texas were to win the conference or push for that. Obviously, Oklahoma has dominated as of late. Texas gets to welcome the Sooners here to Austin, but when you look at the Big 12, where these teams are ranked, currently 4 in the country. Number 2, Oklahoma, this Texas Longhorns team. Texas Tech at 14-12 in the 2 polls, and Oklahoma State at 21-17. 4 teams in the RPI top 15.
And you can't count Baylor out.
Nope.
They were able to go and take one from Oklahoma State, and they're always going to put together a squad there. Coach Glenn Moore usually has a couple really good pitchers, always have speed. And Texas is going to have to split a series, play 1 there. They at least get 2 home, but they still have to go and play 1.
And that will be their next game and next Big 12 opponent, Wednesday midweek, going up to Waco. 2 teams, Texas and Baylor, traditionally doing a 2-1 on the year. So the 1 will be in Waco, and then the 2 here in Austin to close out the regular season. But Texas will have to go ahead.
They always close the season with Baylor,
Yep.
too. I mean, they don't start the season with the same every time. I can't imagine that that's something that Coach Moore likes all the time coming here for senior day. You always have to, not only do you have to play at home, but you're always playing against that extra. I feel like there's always a little bit extra for the seniors out there playing, people wanting to win for their seniors.
7th pitch of the at-bat coming to Williams, another strikeout for Bollinger.
And I have to imagine that is very odd for the Cyclones to see Sammy Williams go down with 2 strikeouts.
Well, staying with the road for Texas. After that game at Baylor, 3 on the road in Stillwater. One of those games will be on ESPN2 that Saturday, March 30th, next week. It's a 7:30. So after you saw what Oklahoma State did to Baylor
Oh my gosh.
on Friday, scoring 21 runs, tying a program high in a single game. Look at this road coming up for Texas. At number 17, Oklahoma State. At number 12, Texas Tech. And then welcoming number 2, Oklahoma here. There will be 3 games mixed in there at home against Texas State and Houston. 2 formidable opponents as well. Texas State always playing Texas tough, and the Cougars have a good thing going on down there.
Yeah, it doesn't get easy for Texas. And this is a good problem to have, right? And Coach Pinkerton talked about it for Iowa State. Big 12 needs to step up, right? They have really not been a powerhouse for quite some time. So now to have 4 teams ranked, you have Baylor that's always hovering right there. That is his goal, is to come into Iowa State and put them on the map, get a better schedule, play harder teams, build up that RPI as well, so that they can start with being on the bubble right there and then move up from there. And I like that approach. And it's nice to hear the whole Big 12. Kenny Gajewski, head coach for Oklahoma State, when he came here, I feel like that's exactly what his approach was. He was bringing winning traditions from Florida. He brought that and instilled it into his players, and you felt it right away. Vanessa Shippey, their All-American, she led the way, and she bought in right from the get-go.
That one right back into the breadbasket was Bollinger. Flips it over to Burton for out number 2. But to your point, I think you look at, as you mentioned, the SEC and how deep they are top to bottom. And when you get into conference play, that's where traditionally in years past, Texas and the other teams could have seen the RPI gets pulled down because of the opponents that you're playing. What you need is a strong conference top to bottom, so then you take that good RPI, like a Texas has, 8th toughest schedule, but then those are good wins for Texas playing Iowa State, or Iowa State when they beat a team like Texas, or you play the Oklahomas, and how you can get more bids. Potentially push this up to a 5-6 team bid conference. Is that in for a base hit? With 2 outs, Wolpert on.
I feel like for right now, Iowa State doing just enough to find the holes here at Texas's D. This ball up in the zone. It's just enough barrel to boop it on out to right field.
So the second hit of the ball game for the Cyclones. Kaylee Bosworth, who has impressed you throughout the weekend in her defensive prowess behind home. It's 2 for 5. Walk in this contest. First time up.
Truly, not just with her arm. I feel like that first game we were watching her have to block quite a few balls in the dirt. Runners on, no one was advancing. That first and third execution, the first inning here, all starts from her.
That hit, Megan, the first 2-out hit of the series for Iowa State, 1 for 14 prior. Two 2-0 advantage for Texas. Can the Cyclones cut into that here in the third? Bollinger has really liked that outside portion, right side of the plate today. That pitch working for her. Coming into this series, second in the NCAA, trailing Georgia Tech's Brianna Roper. 4 hits this weekend. The career leader in batting average for Texas. See this season where she ranks amongst conference players, but now qualifying via the number of at-bats she has had to be the career leader in average, well ahead of Lexi Bennett. Trying to get another one there, but just out.
This is another perfectly placed bunt here by Jefferson. That ball's way up in the air. This time, they're able to get her just by a step.
I don't know who's more out of breath, Megan. Janae Jefferson or you?
We have to climb a bunch of stairs and make it back in time. I don't work out anymore like I used to.
Megan took a quick break to run down to the concourse. Maybe you need this. You need to get on the Janae Jefferson speed plan.
Hilarious.
1 up, 1 down. Miranda Elish flew out to center field, a well-hit ball her last time up. I was going to talk about if she came back out in them. I don't know if you noticed, she had the shades on. First time up at the plate. Looked maybe a little bit like she had dipped into teammate Shaylin O'Leary's shade collection, but
I've seen her take a few ABs with those on. Got maybe a little more cloudy out here.
been a great weekend for Elish. grand slam to end the series opener. It was a run rule victory. Texas was up 7-0. All they needed was one with the bases loaded. Elish to right field. That capped off her second career first in a Texas uniform. No-hitter. Got a nice ice bath from her teammates in the interview afterwards.
All I can think about right now, Tyler, is how the heck musicians dance and sing at the same time.
What?
I couldn't even talk a complete sentence after climbing the stairs. Like, how do these people dance and do routines? Pink's doing flips in the air and she's still singing. How do they do it? They obviously practice.
You got this for a little bit.
3-2 pitch, ball 4.
Random thoughts by Megan on a Sunday. Finally caught my breath after 3 batters.
So Elish on with 1 out. Oh for 1 with a ground out. Big cut from Iakopo.
Just a tad early. I mean, other than that, that ball was on playing her swing. I mean, had to have just been right in front.
You see the smile on that one. Maybe she heard you talking about the musicians. That pitch inside from Sanders. I think it's because they're professional musicians.
Well, I mean, I don't know if you've ever tried to go run and then sing. Have you tried it?
Sing and dance at the same time? Yeah.
Oh, really? Like a full-blown routine?
Not in front of 50,000 people like Pinkwood, per se.
Justin Timberlake. Like he is full-blown dancing and singing.
Why they're some of the best entertainers maybe in the world.
Yeah. I'm okay if they lip sync. I get it if they do now.
2-1 pitch. Iakopo in the batter's box, looking like with a will to hit and hit something very hard. Been a quiet weekend, 0 for thus far, but not bad at bats. We've seen her be on top of 2 or 3 balls. She has 2 walks that she's earned as well. 2-2.
Yeah, she's been right on it. She's had at least 3 deep flies to center field, 1 to left. Just not falling for her right now.
It's the 3rd walk of the weekend, earned by Iakopo.
Wondering if Coach White was going to go ahead and put a runner in for Elish at second. Oh, yeah.
Jenna Roberts. First thought maybe she was going for Iakopo at first, but taking the spot of Elish over at second base. Freshman from Pearland, Texas. First action she has seen. And this is where Texas has really been successful, not only this weekend, but all year. Second time through the order, the adjustments that they make against these Iowa State pitchers, especially being all of similar characteristics in how they throw. Texas trying to add more to that too. Burke takes ball 1. I think I've finally recovered.
I'm glad. It's nice to have you back.
Taken for a strike. Down to second from Bosworth. Could have wear his by Sanders to just kind of get out of the way and know, hey, that one's not coming to me. It's going to Simpson. Just to keep an eye on. Just inserted Roberts. You talked about Lauren Burke, and we've mentioned it, her knack for the big hit, the moment. Last year in the NCAA tournament as a true freshman, hit .421. 2 home runs, 9 runs batted in. They seem to come through, leading this team in RBIs. And held is Roberts. And caught in a running jam is Iacopo. She will be tagged out. Burke did wisely take second.
I mean, that was pretty clear. Coach White had his hand up the whole time. I almost thought Roberts was going to run through his hand up. That ball's right in front. There's nowhere to go, quite frankly. I mean, that was right off an outstretched glove of your shortstop. Not sure what Iacopo's looking at. So again, you see right here, that throw, no one's going to go home. It's right in front. It's held up, and again, Iacopo just caught way in the middle. I mean, she was probably 10 feet from third, and Roberts has to stay there.
Rhodes on the first pitch, bounces it off the bottom of the wall. That will bring home Roberts and Burke. Texas, 4-0.
Shannon Rhodes has got to feel good. Second hit of the day. Knowing she's been moved down this pitch, she gets up in the zone and absolutely hammers it to center field. I mean, she hits this ball so hard, she's only able to get a single off of this. Again, Taylor Nerad playing the outfield fence perfectly, stays back, knows she's going to get a hard bounce back. Coach Pinkerton's going to make that change here.
And you look at Rhodes and what we had seen from her earlier in the season on that spring break trip, had been a little quiet. Just 2 hits across the 5 games. The 1-for-3 effort yesterday, but has found her groove today. 2 singles, scoring a run, and then bringing home 2.
A little surprised here. I saw Coach come out with his scorecard, and Emma Highland ran in from the bullpen.
See what Texas has done with 2 outs. Average coming in to the weekend was 3 lead Iowa State 4-0, joined by Texas's head coach Mike White. And coach, after just that initial hiccup that we had seen from Brooke Bollinger, really seems to have found her stuff and is sharp. What was that conversation, and what have you seen since then?
Oh, I just thought she was being a little defensive on her pitching. You know, she wasn't aggressively attacking the zone and just getting behind, and that's been her problem when she's had problems. So, yeah, I'm just reassured her that your stuff is good.
Caitlin Washington, lower half of the lineup, had a heck of a couple 2 days. Anything that you can attribute that to? Extra work in the bullpen, extra work in the cages?
Well, absolutely. They're sneaking around down there, along with Rhodes, too. It's been pretty good the last 2 days. So they've been a big lift for us, you know, over the last couple of days.
Coach, we appreciate the time.
You're welcome. Hook 'em.
The New Zealand native. Some experience as a pitcher for the U.S. men's national team. You like it when you go down there and you see Coach White throwing bullpens. Maybe that's what we need to get you down there for. You can catch Coach White and the rest of the Texas pitchers.
Ah, catch that spin.
As long as you don't have to run, I think you'll be good.
Like I said, I would almost want to be sitting on a bucket these days, too. No, I can do it. I can do it without it.
Still second time through the order. Heart of it with 5, 6, 7. Simpson, Stites, Shaban. One of the 5 strikeouts from Bollinger was Simpson, her first time up.
One ball, one strike.
I like what Coach said, though, about Bollinger. She did kind of look like she was guiding her pitches or not as assertive, and all of a sudden you're watching her throw now, go right at batters, not be too careful. And it was just the righty that really gave her trouble, and you haven't seen her have that issue again.
No issues there. 6th strikeout of the ball game for Brooke Bollinger.
And this is all about getting ahead of the batter. That way she's able to move that ball up in the zone. That rise ball has been working really well for her today. Getting quite a few swing and misses. On the other side, you're starting to watch Iowa State not attack that first pitch, that's when they were having more success, at least yesterday. Even on the hits today, I feel like have come off that very first pitch.
Stites had a hit, one of the 2 in the ball game for ISU, her first time up. Longhorn pitchers have sat down Cyclones batters to the tune of 15 cumulative strikeouts across these 2.5 games. So not a massive number strikeout-wise, but I think more impressive. Texas has not had a batter strike out.
So Texas's hitters have not struck out, is what we're saying.
Exactly.
Yeah.
2 balls, 2 strikes, Brady.
Bollinger. Say, didn't you say they're close to something around what?
Well, now it's going to be your fault. I wasn't going to say it.
Oh,
I didn't want to jinx it.
Oh, since when don't you want to jinx it? 80-something batters, right?
90.
Oh, there you go.
How many are we at now, Grams? 92 consecutive batters Texas has sent to the plate and not struck out.
Maybe it's something Janae Jefferson's passing along the secret. That she is impressive. I think she's right now the #2 hardest to strike out, and that's just because she has double the amount of at-bats than the #1 batter in the nation.
Back-to-back strikeouts. So Bollinger working on a nice strikeout performance at #7.
Bollinger again working that outside corner to these righties. I think when talking to Coach White before, he really liked that lefty-on-lefty matchup with Bollinger and really wanted to see her attack the righties. And, well, today, she's certainly attacking them. And I think it starts with that backdoor curve, the way that she's able to keep it low, tuck it right in, back over the plate. I saw a lot of that with Kat when she pitched, right? She threw that backdoor curve into righties. You would see batters either sit in the back of the box or scoot up in the front and then also on the plate. And I think right now you're looking at Shaban, her back foot's on the plate, so she's in a right position. She just needs to make sure she attacks it, and you're not trying to pull that ball. You want to drive it right center. Easier said than done, for sure.
Yesterday, Iowa State, 19 of 26 batters swinging at the first pitch. Today, just 4 of 16.
So then you kind of think about that first inning, right? And I think you saw Sammy Williams attack it, but then you saw Bollinger kind of have that hiccup where she hit a batter, she walked a batter. Okay, well, maybe she's not quite as dialed in. Started playing mind games with them because right now she's absolutely dialed in.
So 4 consecutive strikeouts for Brooke Bollinger. She sits down the side. 1, 2, 3. Fanninum, his game interview with us, with her teammates. Got her with the Gatorade. That was water, I believe.
I mean, yeah, I think about her, and then I go to Rachel Garcia for UCLA, pitcher hitter, and then Sam Shao at Oklahoma State. The 3 of them, the numbers they have produced for their teams is incredible as pitchers and then as hitters.
Two-one pitch coming in. Elish. Foul territory. And the story for Elish, we've gotten into it across the course of the year. Last year was battling a lingering injury, so Coach White and the staff up there at Oregon at the time decided, hey, her talents are best served for us in the circle. So that's why didn't see as much, and there wasn't as much talk about her as a two-way player and one of the best in the country, but fully healthy, obviously, and able to showcase such this season, going to the opposite side. But foul there. But just her athleticism, her focus, and her ability all on display this year. We talked about seeing her in right field and potentially where she can slot in when you have another option in Taylor Ellsworth. But how good of a player is the junior Elish? 125 games last year, lost just 2. A 1.20 ERA, 12 shutouts, 249 strikeouts in the circle. Chance to build on the Texas lead at 4 here in the 4th, where Texas has been so good. Payoff pitch, 2 down, 2 on.
She's really doing a good job hitting the ball where it's pitched. Off the plate, driving it that way, change up, almost knocked Coach Spencer down over at first base. She's really been a fun athlete to follow along.
8th first 2, and I think when you look at the body of work, would agree is one of the unsung, unknown All-Americans in the country. See where she ranks career-wise.
Yeah, she was able to get that doubles mark earlier in this season. Previously was at 42, so she's going to keep hitting that. Just so impressive that she's been able to hold on to that as a freshman. And as a freshman, no one has scouting reports on you. You're able to go out and make your mark. It's that sophomore season that you either see players continue on that success or maybe have a little bit of a sophomore slump. She didn't, just like Janae Jefferson's not having it either.
4.0 student majoring in software engineering. Coach Pinkerton said feels that she should be recognized as the student athlete of the year in the Big 12. Leads by example. Hard worker, hones her craft. Says if class doesn't inhibit her, she's the first there, last to leave, but totally invested in her as the leader of the infield win. They arrived last year and it's paid dividends. Savvy sense of the game. That's what Texas has done such a good job. Over 7 is Williams. You had said it throughout the weekend. We go, we being Iowa State, as she goes, and with just the 1 run scored, I think look no further than what the pitching staff has done with Williams this weekend. 9 souvenirs this inning, foul ball-wise. As I think great pickup by you, what you had mentioned about the Iowa State dugout, and maybe what they see from Bollinger now after being fooled for that second time through at 4, 5, 6, 7. Those 4 batters in a row striking out. The adjustment now being made by the Cyclones. Just a 4-run contest. Payoff pitch. Iacopo held it. That was one that Bollinger has gone to repeatedly today and gotten, but not that time.
Yeah, and again, Sammy Williams, her first at bat was that same pitch. So this time I think she sells it a little bit more. She wasn't going to swing, and she took first without even hearing the result.
First walk for Bollinger since the first inning. And she walked Bosworth. Nearad, a fly out to right, a ground out back to Bollinger. This could be another fly out as Hathaway comes in and is there to make the catch for out number 3. Texas will head to the plate. Iacopo, Burke, Rhodes looking for her first 3-hit contest of the season. Hyder going for second and safely as that ball bounces out into center field. Hyder will go for third and slides in safely there.
I think that starts with Shannon Rhodes. She absolutely swung over this pitch on purpose. It kind of helps get in the way of that catcher. Not necessarily a bad throw. Unfortunately, Sammy Williams not able to hold on to that. Hyder just showing off.
So in scoring position for Rhodes. Texas on the year, 47 stolen bases. Their opponents have swiped just 10 bags.
2 ball, 1 strike.
So that's the 2 sides for you as a former catcher. Has to hurt you that you know Texas has been so good. Rhodes lays down the bunt, bats in the way. Hyder gets through to slide in safely. Rhodes does her job to bring home the run. Texas now leading 5-0.
Perfectly executed squeeze play right there. Hyder going all the way. Take a look at this pitch. I mean, this is a great job. Texas today, in general, has done a nice job with their bunts, getting it off the end of their bats, stunning it right in front of home plate. There was no play at home, so good job for Shaban just throwing on over to first. We were talking about it yesterday. Those are dangerous seats over there down the third base and first base line, but there's no netting right at the end, and that ball went right through.
Think everybody okay? Thankfully, because that was hard hit by Mackenzie Parker. Both at-bats have been flyouts to center.
Hey, just stay smart. 1 ball, 2 strike.
1 for 6 in the series. To center. This will drop in just past the outstretched glove of Nearad. Parker, another double to the tally for the team. So bring up Caitlin Washington. She had the 2-run home run earlier, her second of the series.
And Caitlin Washington having a great day at the plate this weekend in general. Just seeing the ball, I feel like first pitch, she's been ready to go. Yes, I know, I jinxed her last at bat.
No.
But even watching her in pregame, watching her BP, you can just see her swing.
Series finale. Conference opener. Texas will head on the road after this for 4 consecutive. 1 in Waco on Wednesday, the 27th, and then 3 next weekend at Oklahoma State. That series, be a lot of eyes on that in terms of where things will fall in the Big 12 and where Oklahoma State is right now. 21st and 17th in the country. That'll be a battle of 2 top 25 teams. Let's see if Texas moves up. Stands pat at 11. Also that 3rd game of the Oklahoma State Baylor series, maybe affecting where Cowgirls will be at the end of the weekend.
Yeah, they're currently winning 5-0 down in Waco. For Texas, they hold on here. It's probably going to be more about what the teams ahead of them are doing if they move up.
Yep.
Tennessee did lose. It's just that 1-0 game, but they're sitting at 7. Florida State's won. They're at number 1. UCLA's won. Florida, Oklahoma, Alabama, Washington. Washington made it close 10 innings against Oregon yesterday. They had to go and ended up winning. And right now they were behind 2-1 to Oregon. However, I think they just hit a 2-run home run, so they're up 3-2. However, Georgia has lost 2 games to LSU, so I'd have to imagine they'll bump down. LSU will go up. I have Georgia ranked ahead of LSU.
One of Texas's 6 losses to LSU. Was Jefferson to Burke to get Woolpert out to start off the 6th.
I must be in La La Land. I had no idea they had Georgia ranked that high. They had Georgia at 8, LSU at 9. And the way LSU's been playing, they went ahead and took a couple from Florida. They're ahead of Georgia right now, so they will definitely jump ahead. Wouldn't be surprised if you see LSU jump ahead of Tennessee even.
Mentioned Texas having played 8th toughest schedule. 9 wins versus teams ranked or receiving votes at the time. Tennessee, Kentucky, Arizona State, Minnesota. 15 victories versus RPI top 100, 8 versus RPI top 25. The losses for Texas. LSU, their first of the year, lost to a Wisconsin team in Tempe that was receiving votes at the time. Then a loss to Arizona State, the 2 against Minnesota, and then the 1 against Tennessee. So not a bad loss in there for Texas thus far this season. Longhorns 18-2 here at McCombs Field. The ball back towards Bollinger, will bounce off her glove, trying to scoop and flip Jefferson, but not enough time as Bosworth will reach first safely.
Like Bosworth has been seeing the ball pretty good this weekend as well. Yesterday had a couple hits. This one does a good job driving right back up the middle. Bollinger just getting a little piece of it, keeping it in the infield at least.
For Iowa State, adding for Casey Simpson, number 44, Michaela Ramos.
Kayla Ramos, the freshman from Riverside, California, will come in to pinch hit for Casey Simpson. 5th spot in the order. Third largest crowd of the season out here at McCombs, just over 1,000. Heard some good news from Coach White as to that Oklahoma series. Won't let the cat out of the bag on that one, but.
Well, if that's the case, and there's a rumor that they're bringing in more seats, where are they going to put them?
Cat out of the bag. Right.
Well, look at it. Does that mean that they're going to finally put seats out in right field? I got to talk about it. Now I'm looking. You can't go down into the bullpens. That'd be pretty cool. You've seen CDC out here quite a bit. And earlier I saw Chris Polonsky, the women's athletic director. So you see them both out here eyeballing. They're seeing what's going on with Texas softball. They're watching these crowds grow. If you build it, they will come, Tyler. And I know it. I've seen the fan support here. We used to have them lined up out in left field. Pretty full house here today. But yeah, right field's really the only spot you have to put those bleachers.
The gang out in left field done a great job being out there, game in, game out.
And maybe we'll get baseballs occupy left field. There's a nice group that's been gathering out at the Texas baseball. We need to occupy right field for Texas softball.
The Oklahoma series happening April 18th, 19th, and 20th. All games here on LHN. Brooke Bollinger. Took a little while, but got her 9th strikeout. Back to form where she had been earlier, sitting batters down.
Going with that riser again. The thing about her too is she throws that rise ball to the righties on the outside corner. Something she used to talk all the time with Kat about, Kat Osterman, just how much I didn't like outside rise balls to righties. I felt like if you missed, that was just something very easy for them to get a hold of and hit out of the park. So we always like to tuck them high and in. Have to imagine maybe Bollinger more comfortable on the outside part of the plate is when she did go up and in. She hit Wolpert, the righty, first inning.
Career high struck out batters is 11 for Bollinger, has 9 this afternoon. Stites is 1 for 2. The single was back in the 2nd inning. Last time up was a strikeout. She's ahead, 2-0. This one ripped to left field. That will occupy the parking lot. Out there and left, a nice swing and 3rd home run of the year for Stites as the Cyclones on the board. Fire the cannon.
That ball was absolutely smoked. I think this is a ball down in the zone too, and one that I think you're watching Stites, the way she's angled in. That front foot in, she gets a curve low and in and just does a nice job throwing her hands, barreling this ball up. Crushed. I think the cannon guy got a little happy, and I don't know that they shoot the cannon off for opposing teams, Tyler. But hey, the Cyclones get a little love for that home run.
Well, this is now a ball game, 5-2.
Could you imagine if they shot the cannon off for the opposing football team in the football stadium? Oh boy, sorry, bud. Calling out.
He's just trying to make sure you are awake.
We all are. Sounds more like a car backfiring than anything. Oh, there it is. All right.
That's the Willis Awakener.
I wish they'd bring the real cannon out. Could you imagine? I think everyone would be on their toes.
There are 2 outs, bases empty after the home run from Stites to plate the first runs of the ball game for the Cyclones. It was Bosworth that was brought in after her single.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
Another hard hit ball out to right field. Alcozer there to make the grab for the 3rd out. Texas, bottom of the 6th. Alcozer, Hathaway, Jefferson drew up in order, 9-1-2.
Jared Davis, Lindsey Stevens looking on, you saw there. They're kind of looking not impressed right now. Or it was just between innings, getting their tweets in.
Alcozer will get a base hit in down the right field wall, sends it deep into the corner. She's digging for 3. Slides in wide, is safe.
At first look, I thought that ball went off the end of her bat, but not really. She was able to barrel this one up. This is off the plate, does a nice job carrying this one down the line. And how about knowing your own speed? She does it in the perfect part of the park. I don't even think Iowa State thought she'd be going for 3 and able to leg that one out.
Still less winded than you. 3rd career triple.
Let's interview her right now.
Rebecca Alcozer. She has 2 this season. So Alcozer makes 3/4 of the trip, courtesy of a well-placed hit down the right field line. Hathaway a chance to get one back. Double and a walk. Lined out to 2nd as well, did Hathaway. New 2nd baseman in for Iowa State. Jackie Cherez, senior from Highland, California. 10th game that she's played in, first time we've seen her this weekend. Strike in from Highland.
She was off right at the end of the bat and decides to go to 1st, and man, we forgot how fast Hathaway can get down that line.
Jefferson sending the first one into the netting. Single and a walk. 3 hits. Will it be enough to push her into the top position in the NCAA in total hits? Came in with 44. Brianna Roper of Georgia Tech had 45. 28th in the NCAA heading into this weekend in batting average. Big 12 leader in base hits. First teamer last year, all freshman team. No sophomore slump. It's taken her game to an even higher level. Career average above 400. If she can keep it there, albeit 2 more years to play along with this season, will graduate the best ever hitting wise. Lexi Bennett holds that distinction in terms of graduated players. 385. What was your career average? Do you know?
No, not that. Don't look it up, Brian.
Please do.
Let's keep everyone on their toes. It's a suspenseful surprise. It's probably 381, right below.
384.
No.
I've been billing you wrong this whole time. Former Texas catcher, second on the career hitting list.
Hashtag fake news.
2-2. Jefferson in for another base hit.
What I think's more impressive about Jefferson, you're just looking at her stat line. She gets her hits, but you're looking, okay, only 3 doubles, no triples, no home runs. So you're expecting it to only be a bunt slapper. She's not a slapper. She just has such good bat control. She swings away. She hits it through the left side majority of the time or up the middle. Yes, she does have quite a few bunts out there, but she barely goes to the slap.
So 105 at-bats on the season for Janae Jefferson. She struck out once.
I didn't think we're allowed to talk about that.
She's just so, now that she's on base, and probably won't get up again, we can talk about it. She's just so hard to get out. Finds her pitch and drives it there. Put 2 on for Elish. Ball will drop in front of Bosworth, allow both Texas runners to advance. Hathaway taking third, Jefferson to second.
I've seen Emma Highland throw quite a few balls into the dirt. We saw it a little bit on Friday. Bosworth able to keep that one in front. I don't think there's really anything else she could have done with that one. That one was ripped right into the ground off her leg.
So a wild pitch from Highland. Got 1-1 inside. Stays in the air long enough for Shaven to come down and grab it for out, 1 down.
Catcher Mary Iacopo.
Iacopo 0 for 2. The walk came in the 3rd inning. Last time up, it was a grounder to first base.
That was close between Hathaway and Coach White and the umpire.
I don't think anybody hits the ball harder on the team than Iacopo. It would be between her and Rose.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. Changeup. She did a good job keeping it low. That's exactly where you want it in that count too. Yeah, of course you want one called for a strike, but you bring that ball any further up in the zone, that's a very hittable pitch.
Maybe Mueller. Back up the middle. Hathaway will dive back into first and take it a couple steps towards home. Iacopo will get on. Texas will have the bases loaded. This will set up, as we saw Friday night, a potential game-ending situation. Texas up 4, bottom of the 6th. And Lauren Burke. Burke walked last time at the plate. Hyder came in to pinch run for her, ended up going around and scoring, but did score herself after a single in the 3rd. Back up the middle, a chance for 2 for the Cyclones. Get just the runner at second in Iacopo, but scoring is Hathaway 7-2 Texas.
It's a good job by Sammy Williams keeping that ball in the infield. They kind of were shifted in a little bit, I think, trying to get that force at home. Able to glove it. That ball gets by. 2-run score easily.
Good day for Shannon Rhodes with the bat. She's seeing the ball well. Single in the second, 2 RBI single in the third, and then asked to bunt. Executed to perfection in the 5th.
The old squeeze. KK Hyder on. I'd go with that every time. Iowa State maybe anticipating a steal there. Another 1st and 3rd situation. Looks like a pitch out. Ooh. Good pitch.
You're managing to comment and dance at the same time right now. So maybe we got to get you
We can keep some things
over at the Irwin Center
a
now.
secret to the listeners.
Why? They have to get the enjoyment that I'm getting.
These cheers, they just tell you they get better and better, better rhythm and beats. You just want to dance to them.
2-2, 2-on. Runners on the corners, 2 outs. Rhodes waits. Not even a flinch from the 2 former Texas softball players as the ball bounces towards them. Highland receiving the pitch call. Checks the wristband, ready to go. That called a strike. Rhodes looked it across, disagreed, but Highland with a nice pitch, snagging the inside corner. Texas leaving 2 on base, but they do get 2 more runs to lead by 5. Iowa State down to their final.